thanks to the supporters of channel member Aaron Gaming. Oh, the club finances are going from bad to worse. We've had to sell a bunch of players, which has led to a bunch of other players getting upset. I've lost the dressing room. We're down to very poor club atmosphere. We're still losing games. I'm still randomly selecting tactics. I think we are at the point now where if we don't win this FA Cup first round game today and make some progress towards fixing the finances, which is ultimately what we need to do to start fixing this football club, I think we might be job hunting. Hello and welcome to part 30 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that big, hugely important FA Cup first round tie at home against Harrogate. We'll also be playing Boreham Wood away from home in the league. Since you were last with me, we've lost more matches. We ended up giving up on the 4-2-4 we were using because we went 5 games without a win. I think you'd give up on it in that situation as well. We switched back to the diamond to face Truro in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round. Scored lots of goals, but also conceded 3 against Truro. Managed to scrape past Gateshead with it, but then lost. And we were terrible against Yeovil. Really, really poor against the Yeovil time, well below us in the league. So we've given up on the 4-4-2 diamond again, and now we're trying a 4-3-3, which we've debuted against Aldershot, and it was rubbish. It was really bad. And I don't know what to do now. So this is what the league situation looks like. We're in 17th place, 17 points on the board, only 3 points above the relegation zone. The club atmosphere is shockingly, but I've never had a very poor club atmosphere before, I don't think. This is a new low for me. I'm quite proud of myself. The finances are getting worse. As you can see, we are making roads to repair the finances. I'm doing the best I can. We've got Harry Leeson, Reece Bennett, James Morris, Jack Payne, all leaving us in January. They can't leave us yet, though. So all that we've actually got is we put them on the transfer list to try and bring some money and to try and do my bit. And they've agreed to go, so the finances will be fixed in 2 months. In the meantime, we've got 4 miserable players who are annoyed they've been forced out of the club. We've had all of those meetings and all sorts of other things where we're dragging everything down because these boys are unhappy, but they're going to still in the club being toxic for 2 months. Jason Straha's left as well. He's gone to Hearts of Oak in Ghana for £3,000. So we're trying to get rid of players. We are making progress towards it. The progress just isn't going to be quick enough, though. So in the meantime, we've got those 3 ruining the squad atmosphere. Ruining the squad atmosphere. And still more players who are unhappy about silly things that they need to just sort their lives out about and not be unhappy about. But I don't see how the situation improves until January when those 4 players leave and the club atmosphere starts to move back up again. I firmly believe most of this is those 4 players. And we can't do anything about it. I've moved some of them out of the first team squad, but ultimately we need them. Reece Bennett, we need him. I mean, if we have a look at what we've got at centre-back, do we need him? We've got Keane, Kwanzaa, McGrath, Stewart. You know what? I'm going to move all of them out of the first team squad. See if that starts to fix things. So Leeson, Bennett, Morris, Jack Payne, I think, is already down there. Move them out of the first team squad, and hopefully that will start to sort things out. It does mean that we've got some gaps in the team for today, potentially. You know what? We're going to play them, and then they can go down to the first team squad tomorrow. Go down to the reserves tomorrow. A final game for Bennett, because we've got to try and beat Harrogate. They're rubbish as well, by the way. This isn't a game that we should struggle with. Harrogate, even worse than we are, down in 22nd place. We desperately, desperately need a cup run. More than I've ever needed a cup run in any save ever. We need a cup run. And fingers crossed, we're going to get one appear today. We're going with a 4-3-3. It hasn't really worked so far. Marshall in goal. A back four of Keane, Bennett, Kwanzaa and Sonupe. Canton at the base of the midfield. Hinchey and Levy ahead of him. Okaronko on the left. Miller on the right. Thompson up front. Snellgrove, the left winger that we signed back when we first started experimenting with wingers, got sent off in the last game, which was one of the reasons why we were so poor. He got sent off earlier, I think like halfway through the first half. So it was difficult to judge the 4-3-3 completely effective, which is why we're giving it another chance. It is more difficult having to do it with Okoronkwo on the left, who's not really a winger. But that being said, Okoronkwo was our top scorer and key player last year. Got close to 30 goals for us last season. Still hasn't scored yet this season. He's played 10 games now up front. He has just fallen off a cliff. Maybe just spending some time on the football pitch, albeit in the wrong position, will help him drag himself back into form. But we've given away a penalty here. 5 minutes gone. We're at home in the FA Cup. Neither of these teams are ever going to score from open play. Doesn't matter now. Harrogate are through to the next round because they've scored a penalty, and we're going attacking immediately. We always seem to play better when we're attacking. We're going to demand more. I've lost the dressing room. I always say in non-league to legend, obviously we are in full-on realism mode. I have to do what I do in real life. And even though I signed a new contract in the summer, I think with everything that's gone on since then, over the last couple of months, I think in real life, if we get knocked out of the FA Cup today, I start looking for a new job, because I think the writing's on the wall for the football club. I don't think there's any coming back. It just becomes clear that this tiny little football club has moved up to a level that it can't sustain. We don't have the fans, even for this massive match. We've only got 600 fans through the door. And until that changes, nothing else is ever going to change. That's not going to change while we're playing down in Histon, miles away from home, a home where we didn't get any fans in anyway. I think this club just needs to go back down where it came from, back into the National League North, maybe a division below that, where it can sustain itself. And I think we're not going to, I don't know. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can stabilize this club. I don't think I can keep us up. I don't think I can sort the finances out. It's very sad, but it might, for the good of my career, be time to move on while I've still got relatively high stock from getting us promoted in the first place. Last thing I want is a relegation on my record, which will then basically put me back where I was to start with, in a club that's in much more of a mess than it was when I arrived because of all the debt. Oh, it's a disaster. Right, can we have a goal, please? The other good thing about an FA Cup run is it might attract the attention of some bigger clubs. Are any bigger clubs having a look? Somebody notice me. Look at us. We're losing at home to Harrogate and really struggling. Right, Miller has had a couple of good games for us. One of which was playing up front in the diamond. He grabbed a couple of goals playing as a striker, which is more than Okoronkwo's done this season. But Sanupe with the cross, it's a terrible one. And now Canton in midfield wins the ball back, and Miller playing it into, or looking to play it into the path of Thompson, who couldn't get there ahead of his defender. And now we have a set piece. It's Okoronkwo from deep, floating it into the area. There is Rhys Bennett playing his final game for the club, because I've, before kickoff, told him he's training with the under-18s from now on because he's a toxic influence. But then I've still played him. That's when you know you're flailing. When you know you don't, that's when the time is up, I think, for you as a manager. I've had a number of disagreements with the squad where a couple of times I've been told it's your job by my own players. You're the one at risk of the sack. Well, hold on. Stop being an idiot. And then I'm not at risk of getting the sack. Oh, Thompson with a huge chance and cannot convert. And that just sums up this run that we've been on. With the dressing room the way it is, we're not going to score goals. It's just, Football Manager for so long has been morale manager. You can't manage morale when you've got all these toxic players in the club, and we can't get rid of them because of stupid transfer windows and the fact they're all going to stupid Football League clubs because they're all good enough to play at that level. That's the really mad thing. We're getting rid of these players who haven't performed for us so they can go and play in Football League. That's the maddest part. Right, we're making 5 changes because we can. There you go, 5 changes. We don't get to do this. So let's bring 5 players on and see if they can change things up. 5 in one go. There you go. We mean business here. We need this cup run. Look, we've been the better team almost. We've been the second best team at least. That deserves something, right? 2 minutes to go. Please, please let us have an equaliser. Just let us have anything. Just let us have a few quid. We need anything. Please. McGrath playing it forward, looking for big boy Modu foul, but can't find him. Flynn Clark, the Peterborough boy, plays it back to McGrath again, who lumps it forward, once again looking for foul, but can't get anywhere near him. If that's the idea of lumping the ball up to the big lad, we can't even do that because that was nowhere near and now they lump the ball forward much more accurately than we did. And now Hinchy trying to play it over the top, but this time rather than aiming for Fowle's head, he's trying to play it for him to run onto. He can't run. He's less mobile than I am. Hunt with the ball into the area. There is Modou Fall, though, and that's what he can do. The big boy, 6'4", Modou Fall. I mean, that's all he can do. He offers nothing else to the game at all. But if you get the right cross, he will do that. He showed it in the last episode. He showed it again today. He's not scoring a huge number of goals this season, but he is weighing in with some important ones. It's Sports 1, Harrogate 1, and I think the second match in this episode is going to be the replay. And you know what? Because of the way attendance money is split in the FA Cup, this is arguably the best possible way for us to get through to the next round, because we get to go and play another match and get another pile of money. So I'm going to play these couple of matches off camera. We'll be back for this replay against Harrogate, hopefully ready to book ourselves a spot in the second round and some money. In the meantime, I've lost count with the amount of meetings like this I've had. This is immediately after the match. We've now got another one of these meetings. So this one is called by Jack Hinchy, whose issue is several players are unhappy about the dressing room atmosphere. Yeah, I'm unhappy about the dressing room atmosphere as well. What do you numbskulls propose I do about it when you lot are causing the problem? Right, that's not my opening. My actual opening is there are a few murmurs of discontent in the squad about the way things have been going lately. Can one of you step up and explain the issue? You need to do something about the dressing room atmosphere. It's a real chore to come into work at the moment, and that's not a good situation to be in. What do you want me to do, you moron? You lot are causing it. I agree that something needs to be done. Maybe there are some bad influences. Yeah, you know what? We're going to deal with the bad influences. Which one of these? What's best to do? Wave hand in an open, convincing manner. There we go. That's pleased everybody. Let's pump fists with encouragement. That was productive. Right. Could we have fixed everything in one conversation? Wouldn't that be lovely? We're still poor, but not as poor as we were. Okay. Maybe we're fixing everything. Right, it's the FA Cup second round draw. Let's have a look to see what we're playing for in this match against Harrogate. Remember, what we want here is either a home tie against a rubbish non-league club or an away game against one of the big football league clubs. So we're looking Swansea. Who else gets big attendances? Barnsley, I feel like they probably don't. Bradford do. I know Plymouth, Bradford. There's not many. Portsmouth. Posh already knocked out. We lost the opportunity for the local derby. Are we the biggest Peterborough team left in the tournament? My goodness me. Ooh, speed. Yes, 3x my speed for me. Right, come on, give us something good. We don't want an away game against a rubbish League 2 team or something like that. That's what we want to avoid. Rochdale away would have been rubbish. Anything away, really, unless it's against one of the big money teams we don't want. So let's... Yeah, see, we don't want any of these. Barnsley, that would probably be worth a few quid. Northampton, this would be fun as a localish derby. No, and Bradford are now gone as well. One of the big money ties. Right, at this point, with a lot of the big money stuff going, Plymouth gone as well, we've got to be looking for a comfortable draw at home in the hopes of a big third round tie against Manchester United away from home. So what we want here is someone like Boreham Wood or Solihull, someone of that kind of level. That is the most perfect draw we could get. All we have to do is beat 2 non-league teams who are in the third round of the FA Cup. The route to financial success is there in front of us. We just need to sort our lives out and make sure we make it happen. We don't need to see the rest of the draw. Ho, 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 boys and girls. That's big. Tell you what a difference a good team meeting and getting the bad apples down in the under-18s has made. We're up to a very good club atmosphere. We've got 4 points, from the previous 2 games. We beat Boreham Wood, drew against Hartlepool. It was a little heartbreaking against Hartlepool because we conceded a very late goal, a 94th minute equaliser. But when you see the goal that put us in the lead, you'll realise on reflection, it was kind of fair. I still don't know how this goal has gone in. Goalkeepers have been fixed as part of the update, everybody. So foul gets into the area. The goalkeeper's got it in his hands there. Shall we watch it again? Let's watch it. Shall we watch it a little slower? See if we can work out what's gone on here. So let's just take the speed down. So there's Modou Fall. No threat at all because he's a big lad running at the goalkeeper. Obviously, it's not going to go anywhere. He ends up taking the shot. Goalkeeper has it in his hands. And then the ball just magically ends up in the back of the net. Hunt is credited with that goal. So considering that's how we took the lead, goalkeepers have been fixed. Considering that's how we took the lead, I figured a 94th minute equaliser is probably fair. But now we're back to the serious business of, goodness me, we must beat Harrogate. And this is the team we are putting out there to try and do that. Heggie in goal. I'm very much losing patience with Marshall. A back four of Stewart, Keane, Kwanzaa and Sanupe. Canton at the base of the midfield. Cisse and Levy ahead of him. Snellgrove on the left, Miller on the right and Okoronkwo up front, who has now scored a goal this season. And I'm hoping it's the first of many. If we can get our Francis Okoronkwo back, I mean, if we can have a 30-goal-a-season striker in this team again, that would be awesome. There just seems to be a curse on goal scorers in this team. Every season's top scorer from the previous year has ended up leaving the club at the end of the season after, in disgrace because they were rubbish. I don't want Okoronkwo to go the same way as some of those players like Sterling, like Onyeka. I'm trying to think of any others who scored loads of goals and then had to move on because they just stopped scoring. I don't want Okoronkwo to go the same way. Score a goal here. He has scored a goal there, his second of the season. We're 1-0 up over Harrogate. And as we saw from the first attempt at this match, neither of us ever looked like scoring a goal in that match. So the fact that we've just done a goal from open play, unless they've suddenly got better as well, you've got to believe we've got an FA Cup second round in our future. And it's a winnable FA Cup second round as well, which gives you that route to the third round where all the money lives. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, when I recorded the first match, and I was sad, I thought my time at Peterborough Sports was pretty much done. I even had a little glance at the available jobs. Didn't apply for anything, but I had a little glance. Those couple of matches I've just seen and the upturn in the dressing room atmosphere in general, and the FA Cup draw, all of that is combined. I believe again. I can stop believing very quickly if things go wrong today, though. So please, lads, don't let me down. I want to take you to the Football League. I want better for us all. Let's make it happen. Miller can't beat his man with either pace or a cross. Cisse playing it back to Kwanzaa, who is the new club captain, by the way. That's another one of the things we've changed. Kwanzaa, new club captain, seems to have made a difference as well. And Okoronkwo has just grabbed his second of the day. And, oh, my word, from the brink of despair, we seem to be clawing this save back. I've never known a non-league to legend be quite this hard. FM23 is too easy, is all I heard during the beta. Well, I tell you now, this game is not too easy. This is the hardest non-league to legend I've had in many, many years. Yes, it's a very small starter club, and that's been the main cause of the problems, but we are struggling still. But if we can struggle our way into the third round of the FA Cup and an away game against Arsenal or Man United or Newcastle or Spurs or any of these clubs that have massive grounds that we can make £500,000 at, if we can clear that debt, that goes a long way towards setting us up for a charge at League Two and whatever might come next after that. And what I do know is if we do make it to League Two, I need to jump ship exactly then. I've seen the step up from us hitting the National League and how hard it's been with a club this size. If we ever do manage to get promoted, I need to leave at that moment while my stock is high. Probably walk into a championship club at that point. At the moment, I'd struggle to get a National League job, but we are looking good today. Look at the match performance we've had. I don't know why we're doing these silly little pervert corners. I've obviously I've loaded up my set piece routines, obviously not taking it off. Oh my word, Kean Levy. That's a wonderful goal. Well, look at us. We are back. Harrogate 0, Peterborough Sports 3. They've stuck us in a tiny corner and we still barely fill it. But who cares? We're doing a football and it's a beautiful thing to see. This is a lovely finish from Levy. He has absolutely no right to score from this angle. Well, Harrogate are broken. They can't compete with us. with this new look Peterborough Sports team of just the players who actually want to be here. Okonkwo has his hat-trick. He is back, everybody. And that goalkeeper's been beaten from that same spot twice now. Someone needs to tell him that he is allowed to move his feet. He doesn't have to try and get his hands down there. He can just step slightly to the side and stop getting beaten from that very, very unusual angle. But two almost identical goals have just been played across him as he's tried to go with his hands for something that he could just step in front of. Which, I mean, I'm here for it. Sign him up. I'm having a lovely time. We're 4-0 up away from home. What a contrast between this and that first version of the match. Don't ever let it be said, boys and girls, that this isn't Morale Simulator 2023. You saw the team meeting that we had. You saw the changes that have been made to the dynamics page. And we've done nothing else. You know, we're playing the same system with the same players. All we've done is spend a few matches trying to turn the morale around and look at the difference in the performance we've got as a result. Stupid game. Really is a stupid game. Right, we're going to make 5 substitutions again, but in entirely different circumstances to what we did in the first match, because today we're making 5 substitutions because we've scored 4 goals and we're resting some tired legs. So why not make a few changes? We can probably take off Snellgrove. Clark can come on for him. I think that's 5, isn't it? That is 5. There you go. So Modufal gets his little run out in front of the cameras again, cause havoc in the air. This is how we like to use him. He doesn't start very often, but he comes off the bench and causes havoc at the end of matches, which is, I do like a bit of havoc. Although Harrogate are on the attack here, and if they grab a second, I might be changing my tune all of a sudden, but McKnight has got this covered, I think. And there's Captain Kwanzaa playing it back to Heggie. And Flynn Clark was going to try and get under that, but actually it's gone to Fal, who for once has messed it up in the air and given the ball away. But the highlight is inexplicably continuing, and it's Amari Miller. Gives it to Levy, who's already scored 1 wonder goal today, and he's added a second, a 5th goal of the season for Kean Levy, who is having, in difficult circumstances, a very good season in front of goal. 5 goals for him now. They've all been good. That probably is the pick of the bunch now, I would say. This is great work from him. And very similar to the first one. Just takes the touch and just hits it, spots the opportunity and just kicks the football quite hard. And it ends up in the back of the net. Harrogate have had a miserable afternoon. They should have just rolled over and let us beat them in that first leg. Oh, that's a lovely save from Heggie. Tell you what, we might have our new goalkeeper, because that was a great save. Marshall hasn't done that for ages. Levy, who's had an excellent match trying to get the ball clear. I mean, Okoronkwo's come in and got a hat-trick after a horrible season, and Levy's still going to get man of the match because he's just been excellent at both ends of the pitch. And there we have it. We are through to the second round of the FA Cup. That will be tomorrow's episode because obviously we want the money. We're playing Solihull Moors in a double header, essentially a triple header if we have to go to a replay again. And we've not really made any money on the cup run so far. But the money is coming. I promise. The money is coming. We're heading to the 3rd round. Nobody can stop us. Solihull are 4th in the league. They can probably stop us. We'll be fine. We're going to be off the back of a 5-match unbeaten run by the time we play them. They're going to be in great form. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.